we are here once again with another fact check. I'm here with the chief, your Repat chief, Chief Foday Ajamu Mansaray. And one of the questions that we have today is, who can get Sierra Leonean citizenship?
Whoa.
That's a one. That's a one, huh?
Whoa. Listen, citizenship is the buzzword.
Mm-hmm.
Citizenship is powerful, y'all.
Yeah.
It comes with rights.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with responsibilities.
It does. Mm-hmm.
And you have to be a Negro.
First and foremost.
According to the Constitution of Sierra Leone.
Yes.
To become a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Naturalized, if you're not already a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that non-Negroes, I'm going to keep saying the word because we begin to despise the word, but it's still written in certain old laws. Mm-hmm. And it applies to us, even if we reject the word.
Yeah, it does.
So there's a Negro clause that is in the Sierra Leonean Constitution as well as the Liberian Constitution.
The only two
in Africa that basically race block anyone else who's not a black person from getting citizenship legally.
And why would you think that would exist for only these two countries?
Well, I think it's because both of these countries, modern countries, were initially founded by African Americans who had a relationship with white people already and knew the dangers of including them. And Liberia is, the root word is liberty.
Yeah.
Sierra Leone, the capital city is Freetown. And both were established by formerly enslaved, what we will call today so-called African Americans, by us, people like us. Mm-hmm. And so we had a different kind of understanding of our sovereignty, of our rights, of Negro rights back then.
Right.
This is the land of Edward Blyden, Paul Kufi, you know. And so this Sierra Leone was always had that racial first kind of mentality, or it wouldn't be in the Constitution.
Exactly.
And it's still there today, although it's a controversy because there's been Lebanese here for
100 plus years.
100 plus years, and their descendants, they don't get citizenship when they're born here, and it becomes a conflict. I remember even some Lebanese responding on social media when they heard that some African Americans was being granted their citizenship based on DNA. They was like, "Yo, that ain't right.
We've been here for hundreds of years.
My granddaddy was born
here. You know what we do for this country? These people just came. They haven't did anything for Sierra Leone.
Right.
They can just get citizenship because they're African. Yes.
We always have to understand that the Negro clause is very important. So to speed up on the answer to your very important question, one way to become a naturalized citizen in Sierra Leone is to acquire a residency for 5 years consecutively, stay in Sierra Leone. Doesn't mean you can't visit and come back, but you must maintain your residency according to the Constitution. And after that 5 years, you can request citizenship. And that is one way. Another way is, of course, through marriage. You know, Salon has some very beautiful people, y'all. You know, and family is very important in this country. Marriage is normal.
Yes.
It's not like over there in America where everyone is running for marriage or complaining about it. People here make it work the best way they can, but family is based on marriage. Thirdly, and most recently, and we are very, very proud because we played a role in at least advocating and assisting those who have been able to bring others to receive the benefits of citizenship in Sierra Leone since 2016. You can get your citizenship in Sierra Leone right now, 2021, if you have the evidence of an African ancestry DNA test that proves that you have ancestry here in this country. You can now request your citizenship. You don't need a middleman. The government has rolled out a process. In fact, we will be doing a workshop, free workshop for the public. You just have to reserve your place, so be on the lookout for that.
Yes.
We'll be doing that to make sure that what we have received from the government via the Monuments and Relics Commission is made available to you guys. It's a very simple process. You can email your information in to the appropriate government.
And
you don't need
we'll be
a special
working.
person to take you by your hand and walk you through anymore.
Right.
Which is the process that we was working for, because Isaiah Washington came through first with the DNA test, but he didn't hold the door open for the rest. And that's the conversation that we took to the government.
Yes.
And this is the result. Years later, after many, many people
Many
have
meetings.
contributed money and time and resources, so many different, even individual groups have contributed to making this happen. And shout out to everyone who has been granted their citizenship so far.
Yes, congratulations.
And we're looking forward to more and more getting them and coming through, because Sierra Leone recognizes that by ancestry, we have a right to citizenship
that's
here.
Powerful.
And there's no other country in Africa recognizing our rights to come back on that basis but Sierra Leone. Shout out to the President, His Excellency Julius Maada, as well as even previous presidents in the past who have paved the way for this kind of relationship to happen. Ernest Bai Koroma.
He was the first to grant it.
Absolutely. And even going back to the first initial clash of bringing the African Americans back into contact with Sierra Leoneans, all the way back in 1989 with the first Gullah homecoming.
President Momo.
The late President Joseph Momo.
Ashe.
Remember that it was the late President Alhaji Kaba, who was able to receive our brother Isaiah Washington. So there has been successive governments, even representing two different political parties, prior to the war in this country, during the war in this country, post this war in the country, that have always been consistent in welcoming us home to Sierra Leone. And so we've gone beyond the welcome into the citizenship, into actually developing and becoming family again. This is very, very powerful. Before I stop answering this question, I must say that the struggle continues.
The struggle continues.
We believe, as Gullah Geechees, knowing our history and our contribution to Sierra Leone over the last 200 plus years as a people, the Creole language, much of the traditions of the Creole people,
the education,
Freetown City, the capital, and the historic role that the Creole played in the suppression of the transatlantic slave trade.
Yep.
So there's so much more to our African American legacy that took place in Africa that we haven't been educated about. But for that reason, we believe that Gullah Geechees, as well as others who contributed, like the Jamaican Maroons, other people who have made historic contributions to this society, should have the same right. Should have the same right to return as they did. They had a right to return back then. And we are requesting that same right to return.
Yes, we are.
There are people who can verify that they are Gullah Geechee descendants. Many of us stay on the corridors, most of us out in the diaspora now, beyond the corridors borders. But there's an awakening occurring in our community, and we would love to receive the right to return and be granted citizenship in Sierra Leone.
That's Gullah Geechees.
So I would say, if you have another DNA test other than that connects you to Sierra Leone, try your luck. Appeal to the government. The government is open to us. And as the Gullah Geechees continue in our campaign for our recognition and rights here, we also are seeking to contribute to making sure that people who are getting tested from other DNA companies have the same rights as the company that has secured the rights for everyone else. Very, very interesting things going on in Sierra Leone, but those are the ways that you could become a citizen here.
Okay, thank you so much. You have said a whole lot in these few minutes, and hopefully you guys have a better understanding. Don't forget, we're going to be doing a workshop soon, so be on the lookout for that. Peace and love to everyone else. Many Ropes.
One fam boat.
For March.